Imagine this. Right now, while you're watching this video, thousands of kilometers of secret cables are lying on the dark floor of the ocean. These cables are not ordinary. They carry YouTube videos, WhatsApp messages, bank transactions, military communications, almost the entire global internet. And here is the shocking truth. If someone cuts just a few of these cables, entire countries can lose internet. This is why experts say the next big global conflict may happen under the ocean. Most people think the internet works through satellites in space, but that's actually wrong. Around 95% of global internet traffic travels through underwater fiber-optic cables. These cables connect continents like giant invisible highways. They run across oceans connecting North America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia. There are more than 500 submarine cables across the planet, and together they stretch over 1.4 million kilometers. That's enough to wrap around Earth more than 30 times. But these cables are extremely fragile. They're only about the size of a garden hose. But here's the real question. Why do these cables matter so much? Every second, these cables carry billions of messages, stock market trades, cloud data, military intelligence. For example, when you send a WhatsApp message from India to the United States, the message travels through phone, mobile tower, data center, undersea cable, another continent, server phone. All of this happens in less than 1 second. Without these cables, the modern digital world would simply stop working. These cables are not randomly placed. They follow strategic routes like across the Atlantic Ocean, through the Mediterranean Sea, across the Indian Ocean, through the South China Sea. Because of this, some regions have become critical internet chokepoints. For example, the Red Sea route, the Strait of Malacca, the Suez region. If cables in these locations are damaged, large parts of the world can lose connectivity. Let's look at a recent real-world example that shows how dangerous this can be. One of the most serious recent incidents happened in the Red Sea during the Middle East conflict involving groups supported by Iran and the United States. In February 2024, several major underwater internet cables in the Red Sea were suddenly damaged. These cables carried huge amounts of data between Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. Investigations suggested that during attacks on ships in the Red Sea, a cargo ship that had been hit by a missile dropped its anchor and dragged it across the seabed, cutting 3 major internet cables. These cables carried a large portion of global internet traffic, and the damage disrupted communications between continents. For several countries, internet traffic had to be rerouted through other cables, which caused slower speeds and network delays. This incident showed something very important. A regional war in one sea can suddenly affect the internet used by millions of people worldwide. Another major incident happened in September 2025. Several submarine cables were cut near Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, including systems like SEANI, WE4, and MU. These cables are extremely important because they connect Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. When they were damaged, internet speed slowed in several countries. Cloud services experienced delays. Countries including India and Pakistan noticed disruptions. Experts estimated that about 17% of internet traffic on those routes was affected. This again proved that a few cables on the ocean floor can impact millions of users across continents. But not every problem is caused by war or humans. Sometimes the internet faces a very unexpected enemy: sharks. In several cases in the Pacific Ocean, sharks have been seen biting underwater fiber optic cables, possibly because they are curious or attracted by electrical signals. Technology companies even had to add special protective layers around cables to stop shark bites. However, scientists say shark damage is actually rare, and most cable failures are caused by ships, fishing nets, or anchors. Still, the idea that a curious shark could bite a cable carrying the world's internet shows how fragile the system can be. Now let's connect this to your everyday life. Imagine this simple situation. You wake up in the morning and try to open YouTube, send WhatsApp messages, make online payments, check Instagram, attend online classes, trade stocks, But suddenly, nothing works. No social media, no banking apps, no cloud storage. Your digital life would instantly freeze. And the surprising reason could be a damaged cable thousands of kilometers away under the ocean. That's how deeply our lives now depend on these hidden underwater networks. Experts believe future geopolitical competition may involve digital infrastructure battles. Instead of tanks or missiles, countries may target satellites, data centers, submarine cables. This is sometimes called the infrastructure war of the internet age. And this is not just theory anymore. Recently, during rising tensions involving Iran and the United States, something happened that shocked the technology world. For the first time in modern warfare, major cloud data centers owned by a technology company were physically attacked. Iranian drone strikes hit Amazon Web Services data centers in the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, damaging several facilities and causing outages in cloud services across the region. These data centers are not just buildings with computers. Inside them are thousands of servers that power up banking apps, cloud storage, government systems, artificial intelligence systems, business platforms used by millions of people. When the drones struck the facilities, some servers went offline and internet services in the region were disrupted. Experts say this incident may mark the first time a global tech company's digital infrastructure became a direct military target. And it reveals something important about modern warfare. In the past, wars focused on destroying military bases, tanks, or airports. But today, the most powerful targets may be data centers, internet cables, satellite systems, digital infrastructure. Because if you destroy these systems, you can damage an entire country's economy, communication, and military coordination at the same time. In the past, wars were fought over land and oil. In the future, wars may be fought over data, servers, and the internet itself. So the next time you watch a video, send a message, or upload a file, remember something fascinating. Your data is probably traveling through a tiny glass fiber cable lying silently on the dark ocean floor, thousands of kilometers away. And in the modern world, those silent cables may be just as important as armies. Because today, power is not only about land or weapons. Power is about who controls the flow of information. And that battle is already happening under the ocean. And now I want to ask you something. If just a few cables under the ocean can control the internet of the entire world, who do you think really controls the internet today? Comment your answer below. And if you want to understand the hidden systems that control global power, make sure to subscribe, because the next video will change how you see the world.